What's up? It's your boy, the American Atheist, and I am finally back after my break, because my schooling is kicking my ass. But since I'm back, I thought we'd get into something I really haven't talked about too much on this channel, LGBT people. And so today, we're going to be reacting to this video by Paula Morgan called Christians on LGBTQ Q&A. So yeah, we can get the basic gist what this video is going to be about. So without further ado, let's get into, this. What the fuck was that?
We asked for you all to send us in questions, and you guys sent in
a lot of good ones.
A lot of
very relevant ones.
So, question number one, here we go. Is being LGBTQ a sin / can they be Christians?
I think a lot of people are asking themselves, can you be gay and a Christian? And we're wondering, could culture have it wrong? Could these churches that are now really embracing the homosexual community and saying, actually, guys, God does love you and he supports your lifestyle, could they be wrong?
To answer that question, the Bible makes it very clear homosexuality, LGBTQ+, is a sin. If you want to do further research, these are the verses that we looked at: Genesis 19, Leviticus 18 and 20, Romans 1, 18 through 32, 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 11, 1 Timothy 1, 8 through 10.
Alright, so let's analyze these verses that they gave us. So we'll start off with Genesis 19. So if we look at Genesis 19, it talks about Sodom and Gomorrah, and God threatening to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, but he'll test Lot to see if he's a good person, and if he is a good person, he will save Lot and his family. But to do this, he has to test them with 2 male angels that come down to test him. So if we go through and we see at verse 3 is when this whole situation starts. Verse 3 begins the story of talking about how he lets the angels in to help save them from the group of men who are chasing them down. So when the group of men who are chasing the 2 male angels get to Lot's house, they say that, "Get the men out of your house, we want to have intercourse with them." And then Lot's like, "Dude, what the hell, that's a wicked thing, don't do that." So here's an alternative. Let's not have sex with the guys, but you can have my 2 daughters instead. Now let's look at Leviticus 19. If we scroll through all Leviticus 19, there is nothing that mentions homosexuality anywhere. Now obviously Leviticus 20 is like the most popular anti-gay quote in the Bible, when it mentions if a man has sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death, their blood will be on their own heads. Now when it comes to Romans chapter 1 verses 18 through 32, it seems to be talking about non-believers who know of God's existence and choose not to do so. And then it continues on saying that non-believers will trade in God's immortal wisdom, whatever the fuck it is, for mortal things that humans have made, which in turn will lead us to have gay sex. I don't see at all how that's relevant to the subject. And the rest of the quotes that they have mentioned also talk about homosexuality in the same light. So only 1 or 2 of these quotes aren't the best to use, but the rest of them are okay. So now we know for a basis of what quotes we're going to follow and which ones we're not going to follow in the case of this video.
Morgan, I was watching a video recently on this exact topic, and the YouTuber said, okay, maybe homosexuality is a sin, but the church has it all wrong because the church is so soft on people getting divorced. The church is so soft, and then she's kind of listing out different other sins. Guys, sin is sin, okay? And sin, no matter what it is, separates us from God. The Bible says that for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So yeah, it is not right for the church to say homosexuality is this horrible thing and then brush other sins under the rug. Yeah, I believe some sin may carry more consequence and be weightier than others, but we have no place to, say this sin is horrible and this sin is okay.
I agree with you guys. Christians should not be able to sweep any sins they don't like under the rug and call those non-sins, or say they're not as bad as other sins like homosexuality and other like murder, lying, and the whole Ten Commandments. Those sins and other sins should be on the same playing field. They're all sins. So obviously you guys are heavily concerned about laws of the Bible, and you want to follow them and put them all together in a lump. And that's fine, but why is Morgan here? Obviously she's here to make the video with you. But in the Bible, the same book that you are promoting, it actively tells women to not teach in public because it's a sin. And what is Morgan doing? She's assisting in your teaching. So you saying that sweeping every other sin under the rug and only focusing on the big ones and not calling the other ones sin is a hypocritical statement, because what you're doing is basically that. You are allowing her to teach in the video. Now, I'm not saying she shouldn't teach in the video. I want to hear what she says. But in the context of what you're saying, it's a little bit hypocritical for you to say that.
And we're here saying that the Bible doesn't necessarily say homosexuality is like the worst sin of all, but it is a sin. And I think that the argument in this world nowadays is that it's not a sin, that being gay and love is love, like it's not a sin. I can love whoever I want. And that's just not the case. And so
if you're looking at it from a biblical standpoint,
yeah.
When we're speaking, you guys, we're speaking to people that are interested in following the Bible, that are interested in walking as a Christian is called to walk. You know, of course there's going to be people that maybe watch this video that have no interest in walking with the Lord, in walking in obedience. And so this video is not going to mean anything to you guys. You all watch this and be like, you all are being so judgmental. You guys are crazy. And that's fine. And we love you guys. But this video isn't really for you all. It's for those of you who are seeking, who are open, who are wanting to know what God's views on this are.
People are like, all you ever do is talk about homosexuality. Why don't you talk about something else? If you like, what about the sin of greed? What about the sin of lust? Like, yeah, those sins need to be talked about too. And they're absolutely, separating you from God. But we're making this video on homosexuality because we've been asked over and over and over to share what the Bible says about it. So
guys, I was scared to make this video. I don't really want to jump right into a topic that's so heavy, that's so commanding of backlash. Like we just know there is, and it's scary. But if we can't step out and talk about these topics from a biblical standpoint, then why are we doing this? Why are we making videos in the first place?
To be honest with you guys, I'm actually happy you do put out this kind of content, not just because it helps me make videos like this, but it also helps promote civil discussion and the exchange of ideas and civil debate with each other. And when people of differing opinions can come together and debate topics that are very broad like this, it's actually more beneficial for us as a whole. So I thank you for making this video and all. But at the same time, you know you're going to get backlash, and I know that I could get backlash for this too. I know that I could make one wrong move and it's backlash for me as well, and it's vice versa with you. But backlash is a part of the thing on YouTube. Eventually, I'm going to say something stupid, or someone's going to find something on my channel, and then they're going to backlash me on it. But that's just a fact. But making these types of videos is still beneficial to society, because you're enhancing civil discussion, and you're enhancing civil debate. And once that's done, we can either come to a lot closer to a middle ground, or at least we understand what your side's talking about.
all right, next question is, what do you say when an LGBTQ plus person says, God made me this way? I have a pretty direct answer. I'm not sure if Paul would be.
Morgan has a direct answer?
I would ask a question in return to that question, and it is, does a porn addict come out born that way? Does a thief come out born a thief?
We are born into sin.
The fall of man, Adam and Eve, because of their sin, we are now prone to sin as soon as we come out of the womb. God did not make it that way.
Yeah.
So no, God did not make you gay. He did not make you an alcoholic. We have the choice, the authority to turn away from that sin that we're prone to, whether that be murdering, whether that be lust, whether that be
lying, cheating, stealing,
homosexuality, whatever it is. Like, God gave us the authority to turn away from that. But if we don't turn away from that, then it becomes our identity.
Okay, I'm not gay. I have no homosexual tendencies. So I can't say for sure if you are born to be gay. I haven't seen any scientific evidence that shows if you are or if you aren't. If you know of some, let me know. I'll look it up. But we can't blame a person who is alive today for being gay. We have to blame God for that. Because God, in his almighty wisdom, put a threat to humanity on earth. He put the serpent on earth, knowing that it could possibly harm humanity, and it could convince humanity to go against God. He still let it on earth. Also, God, in his almighty wisdom, made the tree of knowledge, whose fruits, if eaten, would ruin society forever, unleashing sin, pain, death, even homosexuality onto the earth and onto humans. God made that tree and knew the consequences of Adam and Eve eating of that tree. He also knew the consequences of creating the serpent that would try and convince Adam and Eve to eat the fruit. So why did God do that? An intellectual God would have said, you know what? I can keep this serpent here, why not? But let's get rid of this tree that could literally hurt the people I made in my own image. Or, better yet, get rid of them both. No problem at all. Just happy people in the Garden of Eden. They still have the free will, like it was mentioned earlier, but now they just get to do it without sin. That way, hell doesn't have to exist, and no sin is rampant. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. As I was editing this video, I had realized that this video is going to be over 30 minutes long while editing this. So I'm going to have to make this video into multiple parts. I apologize if you want to see it all in one part, but I can't afford to upload a 30-minute long video. But thank you guys for watching this video anyway. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like down below or subscribe if you like my content and want to see more of it. If you have a suggestion for me, let me know in the comment section down below. And that's all I have for me. Talk to you guys later. Peace.